Good morning, everyone. How we doing? It's Richie. It's the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I wish everyone a good Thursday morning. Why am I here so early? It's because of the Juan Soto trade. Yesterday, during our Part 2 Week 14 NFL preview and prediction show, go check it out. Really good show. It dropped a couple of hours ago. It was finalized that Juan Soto, a sought after player by the New York Yankees, going back to about a year and a half to 2 years ago, finally is acquired. Got the deal right here going across your screen. The New York Yankees acquire outfielders Juan Soto and Trent Grisham in exchange for catcher Kyle Higashioka and an array of pitchers Randy Vasquez, Michael King, Drew Thorpe, and Johnny Brito. I'm a little surprised. At first, I wasn't 100% sure if this deal was really going to come to fruition or if the Padres were just kind of using the Yankees as a prop to maybe get even more for Juan Soto. Whenever you have a big trade that goes down in any sport, people always have knee-jerk reactions and always want to know, who do you think won the deal? In my opinion, I believe that's too early to tell. I think it's a good trade for both teams. The Padres were having financial issues, not to mention that last year was just a train wreck of a season for them where they had World Series aspirations. In the Yankees' case, albeit they only finished 2 games worse than a team that actually played in the World Series, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the season was definitely below Yankee standards. A team called the Bronx Bombers, one thing about the Yankees, you always assume that they're going to be able to score a lot of runs. And unfortunately, last year, with the exception of the productivity of Aaron Judge, who, mind you, missed the better part of 2 months, the Yankees just were not able to consistently score runs. I think what Juan Soto brings is an heir apparent, assuming that they both play at the height of their games, to a perennial MVP candidate in Aaron Judge. What I also like about this deal is that I think it could reinstill some of the fundamentals of Juan Soto's game, where he is actually honing in more on his craft. Because I tend to believe that part of the problem for Juan Soto in the past is that he had some bad influences in San Diego. You could bring all the talent in the world that you want to any organization, but you got to get guys to buy into a bigger concept, a team concept, and ultimately want to get guys together for the sheer fact that they want to win. I think in San Diego, unfortunately, last year, that just simply did not happen. I know some Yankee fans will be very critical about the deal because of the fact that Juan Soto is essentially a one-year rental. Someone who I follow frequently who covers the Giants and Yankees, sports writer Doug Rush, I think he made a really good point. He brought up the 1995 trade with David Cone. At the time, he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, helped them win championships, and then was a New York Yankee. He pitched a perfect game in 1999 and was a part of the dynasty Yankee core of pitchers that just really carried the team. I guess what Doug was getting at was that he made it clear that after a year in the Bronx, Cone knew that he wanted to make his baseball home there for that juncture of his career. And I believe that in Soto's situation, when you're playing alongside arguably the best player in Major League Baseball in the form of Aaron Judge, and I think when he really feels the essence of what it means to be a Yankee and the passion of the fans and the thirst, wants, needs, and desires for this team to get back to a World Series. They have not been back there since 2009. For many teams, that's not considered a drought. For the Yankees and their fan base, that's considered an eternity. This is only one day removed from the New York Yankees making a smaller deal for Boston outfielder Alex Verdugo. And suddenly, within a matter of 48 hours, the New York Yankees have Aaron Judge, who is going to man down center field at season start. You're going to have Alex Verdugo in left field. You're going to have Juan Soto in right, and barring mass injuries, there should literally be no reason why Giancarlo Stanton would ever so much as even pick up a glove, because Trent Grisham will serve as the fourth outfielder while Jason Dominguez heals. He's not going to be back in pretty much midseason. I've been saying it on the show, game 80 to 100. Anywhere in between that point, that's where you're going to see Dominguez come back, hopefully better than ever. He showed a spark in that lineup before he was injured. Last year, the year before last year, the outfield has been an unproductive revolving door with the exception of Aaron Judge. And you've even had some of these crazy Yankee fans that are coming in here saying that we got to go bring back Brett Gardner. That's how desperate and how bleak things were looking in the outfield. Now, I want to talk about what I think this does for the Yankee lineup. I believe that this Yankee lineup, all of a sudden, is going to be one of the toughest lineups to get the easy outs on. In past seasons, I think too much has been put on Aaron Judge. I know a lot of Yankee fans are not particularly pleased that Judge has been hitting out of the two-hole. This gives Aaron Boone the ability to really shake things up. I know I saw a projected lineup yesterday that would suggest that DJ LeMahieu leads off, Juan Soto would hit second, Aaron Judge would hit third, Anthony Rizzo, being the lefty, would hit fourth, followed by Giancarlo Stanton at six. I would assume that maybe Torres and then Verdugo would go about it. Then your catcher, who is going to be Austin Wells, and Jose Trevino, they're going to be doing a split job there. And your shortstop, Anthony Volpe, turns over the lineup for the speed variable. Perhaps in time, the Yankees will be able to figure out who is supposed to be the proper leadoff man. I think in a perfect world, Yankee fans hope that DJ LeMahieu could get back to his 2019-2020 form. Seasons that he played, season he played with the Rockies, where he won a batting title. He won a batting title with the New York Yankees in the pandemic-shortened season. Overall, a very versatile utility man. And, with the big gaping hole that was Josh Donaldson no longer being a part of the team, I think you're going to see split duties with DJ LeMahieu at third, as well as other options that the Yankees are gradually grooming. First base goes without saying. As long as Anthony Rizzo is healthy, he's going to play first. And, if he plays enough games, there's no reason to think that Anthony Rizzo shouldn't hit about 30 home runs a year, especially with the protection that he's going to get in this lineup. A healthy Aaron Judge, this is the reality. He always has the opportunity to break his own American League record or even do more Van damage than that. It just is a matter of how many at-bats he gets, how healthy he is. But this move is predicated off of one thing and one thing only. The New York Yankees are tired of playing second fiddle lately to the New York Mets in terms of spending. Not second fiddle in terms of results, because the New York Mets did spend a decent amount of money, but they did things irresponsibly. The Yankees want to take back this city, and most importantly, the Yankees want to bring back a world championship. They want that elusive 28th title. You've seen a Texas Rangers team just win their first one. The Baltimore Orioles, right now, best team in this division going in based on last year. You have a Tampa Bay Rays team that has mastered the Moneyball aspect of being able to compete every year, no matter what the salary and the distributions of monies are. They have been phenomenal, and Kevin Cash deserves all the credit in the world. I said it last night briefly on the show. The Toronto Blue Jays have been a bit of an enigma. And, the next domino to fall is going to be Shohei Ohtani. Where is he going to sign? More than likely a West Coast team. I know that there's some people that have suspected that the Red Sox might try to pull one out of their hat and go get Shohei. That would do wonders for the rivalry, but I don't expect that to happen. I think Shohei is going to be on the West Coast somewhere, or he's going to stay with the team he's with. But my ultimate point here, Juan Soto doesn't necessarily have to be the 330 and above hitter he was earlier in his career with the Washington Nationals. I would be so satisfied with a 270 season and being able to clear the fences to the tune of 40 or more home runs, drawing a lot of walks, and just playing smart baseball and just being one of the guys in this very potent Yankee lineup. What I also find interesting and intriguing is that I think that this acquisition actually helps a guy like Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton was traded in the offseason after winning a National League MVP. And while he started his Yankee career on fire, and while he has had moments of brilliance carrying this offense at different junctures of different seasons, his game and his confidence has fallen back. There was some speculation that just maybe Giancarlo might have been part of this deal to kind of clear out some weird contracts. But the reality is that the Padres don't have money to be spending on a Giancarlo Stanton either. But I do believe there's going to be better pitches coming Stanton's way. I think this takes a lot of pressure off Stanton being the number 2 guy behind Aaron Judge. And I love what the Yankees did right here. I think this is them showing their fan base, we are going to try to do our best to do this for you. And they're not out on Yamamoto yet either. So that's going to also be very interesting to see how that plays out. On the other side of things, as the pitching goes, you have reigning Cy Young Award winner Gerrit Cole manning down the 1 spot in that rotation. By default, your number 2 was Carlos Rodon. They spent a lot of money on Rodon, but he's going to need to step up in a big way to earn some of that money because his year 1 was quite miserable. Nasty Nestor Cortez returns more than likely in your 3 spot. And I don't think the Yankees are done. You know, Clark Schmidt's going to be part of this rotation as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Yankees go about this. The one player that we do lose, because you always got to give up something to get something, is Michael King. Michael King has aspirations of eventually being a starter. In that regard, I think this works out for his career trajectory because I believe that he has a better chance of being a starter with this Padres team. I wish him the best. I wish all our Yankee guys the best. You know, it's the ugly part of the business that certain guys got to get traded to get other guys. And I know it's not an easy day for some of these players that have aspirations for, you know, playing for the team at the big level that drafted you. But this is the nature of the beast. This is the nature of the business. I wish all our former Yankees well. Kyle Higashioka is super expendable because of the fact that Jose Trevino is only 2 years removed from an all-star appearance, and Austin Wells is definitely the catcher of now and ultimately the future. And I love that Trevino is going to be able to help nurture and cultivate Wells' game. I think it's a great situation there. Ivan Hidalgo, congratulations on the acquisition of Juan Soto. Yeah, brother, I'm very excited about this, man. I think Juan Soto is such a phenomenal player that hasn't even truly tapped into how great he could be. And I think getting away from some of the toxicity that was going on in San Diego and potentially getting inserted into a pennant race is going to do wonders for his career, for his mindset. It's going to be all about baseball. It's going to be all about winning right now. And I think that's exactly what the New York Yankees need. And I think they need each other. I think Juan Soto needed an environment like the New York Yankees to elevate his game. Because I think when you're on a team with a bunch of dudes that are just cashing in checks and just kind of going through the motions, because there's no logical explanation, Ivan, why the Padres should have struggled like that. When you look at them on paper, and we all were a little embarrassed here on the panel because we all picked them to win the West last year, and they didn't even qualify for the playoffs. It was just a terrible situation. You know, as the Padres go, I think in time, on some metrics, they're going to win parts of this trade because I think they got themselves a lot of good arms. You know, as a baseball fan, you hope that Fernando Tatis could recapture what he was going into approaching before getting popped with PEDs. It's an unfortunate situation. But, you know, Fernando Tatis, one of the bright young stars in this game, and, you know, I'm not going to let a mistake blind me to that reality. Fernando Tatis is just so damn talented. But it's a great day to be a Yankee fan. It's an exciting day to be a Yankee fan. And while you can never forecast injuries, you don't have a crystal ball in your hand to see what exactly is going to be in front of you. One thing I know is that Aaron Boone has to be the happiest man right now because this gives him the ability to mix and match a lot of potent lineups. And then, you know, baseball's a long season. You're going to have guys get injured here and there. That's why I think even a guy like Trent Grisham coming along helps. But when I say to myself, when the Martian Jason Dominguez comes back into play and he becomes a part of this, in addition to what they already have, you know, I look at it like you have potential to possibly break a major league home run record with the kind of bats that they got in this lineup. and it's going to be interesting. And while I'm still an advocate for playing small ball and things of that nature, what I love about this trade is that it gives the Yankees balance in this lineup that they have not had since '09 and maybe the beginning of the 2010s into the 2010s, the early parts of that. They have not had that kind of balance, and this is something that they need. Ivan coming back with a comment here. It's going to be interesting on his contract situation after next season with the whole Scott Boras situation, that he doesn't negotiate extensions and it's going to force him to go to free agency. Tough situation, man. Hopefully you guys jump on him immediately. This is my take on that, Ivan. I believe that every player deserves the right to test the waters. If I was an agent for any player, I would make it a point to make sure that they listen to every and all available options. But I do genuinely believe that the Yankees have a wonderful chance of keeping Juan Soto. And this is the reality. Let's just say hypothetically, this is only a 1-year thing. If the New York Yankees hoist the trophy, and even if Juan Soto moves on to greener pastures in terms of greenbacks, this is not a bad trade. I love Michael King, but when you look at the rest of what they got rid of, and the fact that they were able to keep core guys like Anthony Volpe, core guys like Jason Dominguez, Austin Wells, and some of their other farmhands that could potentially break into the league or potentially be parts of other trades for other needs. This works out great. And Scott Boras, to your point, he is a businessman and he has to do his job to the best of his ability. There's a reason why people don't like negotiating with his clients. It's because he's really good at his job, Ivan. And that's how it works in the world of sports. I never take any of this stuff personal. You know, players that have the God-given talent to play at this level, the smart ones know that it's not forever. So you got to maximize the opportunity for not just what you have in your own career, but, you know, in terms of generational wealth and setting up your loved ones and your family for years to come. But this is a great, great day to be a Yankee fan. I have admired Juan Soto's game for some time. And when I saw those numbers dip, I never really thought it was an indictment on the player that Juan Soto is. I think it was a lack of focus and sometimes a lack of passion. And sometimes I think relocating and getting into a more healthier situation brings back some of the metrics of what makes guys like Juan Soto great players. He is a great player, and I look forward to seeing him in pinstripes come April. And this is just so very exciting. Got a little bit of an announcement here. Robbie Gould, one of the better kickers in NFL history, just announced his official retirement. He is 10th in all-time scoring, 9th in field goal percentage. I know that the NFL has been very anal about putting kickers into the Hall of Fame, but Robbie Gould was definitely a good one. My New York Giants had him for 1 year. I believe it was the 2016 season, and he was always solid. His best years were with the Chicago Bears. Congratulations on a great career, Robbie Gould. We will be back in the near future. Definitely going to hit on this Shohei stuff. We might actually devote a whole show to this. And we're going to continue to hit you guys with the baseball hot stove. Going to be giving the NBA some love lately. It's just between football right now and the free agent / trade market going on in Major League Baseball. It is a very exciting time and a very busy time. And yes, Ivan, I really do hope that goes well. That would be the ultimate slam dunk to solidify this season. And I do want to make a little expanded mention on Alex Verdugo. I know a lot of Yankee fans were pissed off and knee-jerk reacting when we got Verdugo, and a lot of guys were thinking that we weren't going to necessarily go out of our way to do anything else. And I think that they prejudged the situation. There's penalties when you go over the luxury tax, but I'm happy that the New York Yankees threw shade to the wind for the first time in a long time and are just getting back to being like, guys, we got the money. Everything is so damn expensive to watch this team play. We sell a ton of merchandise. We have such a passionate fan base, and it's time for the Yankees to stop being cheap. And I think that's the message, Ivan, that they're sending to their fan base and to the rest of Major League Baseball as well. I will be back soon. Thank you for hanging with me for a little bit of your Thursday. I got to get out into the world to do a few other things today, but I just want to say thank you for all the support, guys. If you haven't already, please make it a point. Like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube, and definitely give us a look. That show dropped a couple of hours ago for our Week 14 NFL preview. Ivan, thanks for hanging. Thanks for doing a drive-by on this show. You always have such great insight, and I love talking sports with you. And just thank you for being a great supporter of the show, bro. I wish you a great day as well, Ivan. Please give your mother my regards. Hope you have a great day. Hope everybody has a great day, and make it matter today. Make this Thursday special. Make it matter. Until next time, I am Richie, and we are out. Go Yankees.